The message came at midnight, a strange signal that made every radio, TV, and phone on Earth buzz with the same strange sounds. Dr. Megan Collins was sleeping when her emergency phone rang. As the top language expert at NASA, she knew a middle-of-the-night call meant trouble. "Doctor, you need to come in now," said the voice on the phone. "We received something from deep space. It's not natural." Megan drove to the NASA center with her heart racing. When she arrived, the control room was filled with worried faces staring at screens. "Play it again," she said, putting on headphones. The sounds were unlike anything she had heard before. Clicks, hums, and strange tones that seemed to follow a pattern. This was no random space noise. This was a message. "How far away is the source?" she asked. "That's the problem," said Bill, her assistant. "It's close, just beyond Mars, and it's moving toward us." On the other side of the country, Commander Peter Lawson was woken by similar news. As head of Earth's Space Defense Forces, he knew their ships were few and not very powerful. They were built to protect satellites, not fight aliens. "Get every ship ready," he ordered his team. "And call the president." Within hours, telescopes around the world focused on the approaching objects. The images made everyone's blood run cold. Hundreds of massive ships moving in perfect formation. Kevin Reeves, a communications specialist, noticed something strange about the alien message. "Play sections 3 and 7 again," he told Megan. "Listen carefully." The sections had similar patterns. Kevin pointed to his screen. "These segments have human language structures. It's like they've studied us before." Megan felt a chill run down her spine. How would they know our languages if this is first contact? World leaders gathered in an emergency meeting. Old enemies became allies as everyone realized the threat was to all humanity. Commander Lawson was put in charge of Earth's defense. "We have 23 space-capable ships," he told the world leaders. "They have hundreds. We need to talk to them first." Dr. Collins worked day and night to decode the alien message. After 30 hours without sleep, she had a breakthrough. "They call themselves the Vorjian Conclave," she told the Emergency Council. "They're demanding our surrender and the right to take Earth's resources." A new message arrived from the alien fleet, now just beyond the moon. On screens around the world, an alien face appeared. Its skin was pale blue with no nose and 4 eyes that blinked sideways. "People of Earth," it said in broken English, "we are Vorjian. Your world now belongs to us. Surrender in 48 hours or face destruction." Commander Lawson ordered Earth's small fleet to take defensive positions. Scientists around the world worked to improve weapons and shields, but everyone knew it wouldn't be enough. The alien ships arrived, surrounding Earth like a net. They blocked communications with space stations and took control of Earth's orbit. Some ships were larger than small cities. Their weapons made Earth's nuclear missiles look like toys. Dr. Collins tried to open communication channels. "We want peace," she broadcast to the fleet. "We can share resources." The alien commander responded with images of other worlds they had conquered. "You will serve or die," was the only message. As the deadline approached, Commander Lawson prepared Earth's fleet for a fight they couldn't win. Dr. Collins noticed something in the alien signals, a reference to Earth that suggested they had been here before, long ago. The world held its breath as the 48-hour deadline neared its end. Humanity stood united, but it seemed it was too late. The clock struck 0. The Vorjian fleet powered up their weapons. Earth's first interstellar war was about to begin. Earth fought back with everything it had. Rockets launched from every space center. Fighter jets flew high into the atmosphere. Satellites turned into weapons. Lieutenant Amy Franklin led 20 space fighters from the lunar base. Her hands shook as she guided her ship toward the massive alien fleet. "Stay in formation," she told her pilots. "We need to give the main ships time to target their big vessels." The human fighters looked like toys next to the Vorjian ships. Amy's plan was to distract the aliens while Earth's larger ships tried to break through the blockade. "All units, fire at will," she ordered. Her team shot missiles at the nearest alien ship. The explosions looked bright against the blackness of space. For a moment, Amy felt hope. Then the alien ships glowed blue. The missiles bounced off invisible shields. "They have energy shields," she warned. "Our weapons can't." She didn't finish her sentence. Green light flashed from the alien ship. Half of Amy's fighters disappeared in balls of flame. On Earth, Commander Lawson watched the battle on large screens. It was not going well. Earth's best weapons did nothing against the alien shields. The Vorjian fleet was too strong. "Pull back all forces," he ordered with a heavy heart. "We need to save what ships we have left." As Lieutenant Franklin and the few surviving pilots retreated, the aliens began their attack. They didn't aim at cities as everyone expected. Instead, they took out communication centers, power plants, and military bases with precise strikes. "They're not trying to kill everyone," Lawson said to Dr. Collins as they watched from the emergency command center. "They're dismantling our ability to fight back." Dr. Nathan Scott, an archaeologist who specialized in ancient civilizations, was watching the news when he noticed something strange about the alien ships. "I've seen those shapes before," he said to himself. He pulled out old research papers from his university office. The symbols on the alien ships matched markings on artifacts found in Antarctica years ago. At the same time, Professor Laura Martinez was studying the energy readings from the alien fleet. As a physicist who had worked on experimental energy projects, she recognized patterns in the alien shields. "These match theories from old government research," she said to her colleagues. "Projects from the 1960s that were shut down for being too strange." The aliens knocked out most of Earth's communications. Cities went dark as power failed. People huddled in homes and shelters, waiting for the end. Dr. Scott called Professor Martinez using one of the few working phone lines. "The symbols on their ships," he said, "they match artifacts we found buried in ice. I think they've been here before." "And their energy systems," Martinez added. "They're like theoretical models I studied from old research files. There was a project called Operation Lighthouse that was working on similar technology." The two scientists brought their findings to Commander Lawson. They showed him photos of the Antarctic artifacts and the old research files. "There's a secret research base in Antarctica," Scott explained, "built during the Cold War. They were studying something found in the ice, something not from Earth." "And you think it's connected to these aliens?" Lawson asked. "I think humans knew about alien technology long before today," Scott said. "We might have weapons or defenses buried there that could help us now." Lawson looked at the screens showing the alien blockade. Earth's military forces were defeated, their weapons useless. They needed a miracle. "How do we get to Antarctica with the aliens controlling our skies?" he asked. "There's an old tunnel system," Martinez said, "built as an emergency escape route. It goes deep under the ocean. The aliens won't see us." Lawson made his decision. "Get a team ready. If there's even a small chance of finding something to fight back, we have to try." As the Vorjian fleet tightened its grip on Earth, a small team prepared for a desperate mission to the frozen bottom of the world. The trip to Antarctica was dangerous. Dr. Scott, Professor Martinez, and Security Officer Jack Hudson traveled in an old submarine that creaked with every wave. Above them, alien ships patrolled the skies. "How much further?" Jack asked, checking his weapons. As a former Navy SEAL, he was ready for trouble, but not used to being underwater for so long. "Another 6 hours," the submarine captain said. "We're staying deep to avoid detection." Dr. Scott reviewed his old research papers. The base was built in 1962. The government found something in the ice and built a research station around it. Then, in 1967, something went wrong. They sealed the base and marked it as destroyed. Professor Martinez looked up from her computer. "But it wasn't destroyed." "No, they just wanted everyone to forget about it," Scott replied. When they reached Antarctica, They had to travel by foot across the ice. The cold was bitter, and the wind cut through their thick coats. They followed Scott's old maps to a spot that looked like every other piece of ice. "This is it?" Jack asked, doubtful. Scott checked his coordinates again. "Yes, the entrance should be right here." They dug through the snow and found a metal hatch. It took all three of them to turn the frozen wheel and pull it open. Stale air rushed out. "No one has been here for decades," Martine said as they climbed down a long ladder into darkness. They turned on their flashlights. The base was huge, much bigger than the maps showed. Long hallways stretched in different directions. Offices and labs stood frozen in time, with papers still on desks and coffee cups left half empty. "What happened here?" Jack whispered. They found the main research lab. Giant machines covered in dust stood silent. On the walls were pictures of strange metal pieces and symbols that matched those on the Vorjian ships. "Look at this," Scott said, pointing to a journal. They found a ship buried in the ice. Thousands of years old, not from Earth. How did it get here? Martines wondered. More importantly, what did they learn from it? Jack added. In another room, they found files marked Operation Lighthouse. Martinez read through them quickly. "These are energy shield designs," she said, "and weapons that use Earth's magnetic field. The scientists here were reverse engineering alien technology." They went deeper into the base. The temperature got warmer, which was strange so far underground in Antarctica. They found a heavy door with warnings all over it. "This needs a code," Jack said, looking at the keypad. Martinez studied the symbols above the door. "These match patterns in the alien language. I think I can figure it out." After several tries, the door opened. They stepped into a massive chamber that took their breath away. In the center was a pillar of crystal and metal reaching from floor to ceiling. Around it were control panels with lights still blinking after all these years. "The base has its own power source," Martine said, amazed. "Something that's been running for decades without maintenance." Scott found more journals. According to this, they didn't build this technology. They found it. All of it. The ship, this facility. It was already here, buried in the ice for thousands of years. "Who built it then?" Jack asked. Before anyone could answer, Deputy Director Ellen Grant's voice came through their radio. She was one of the few government officials who knew about their mission. "Have you found anything?" she asked, her voice breaking through static. "We found a lot," Scott answered, "but we don't understand it yet." "Work fast," Grant said. "The aliens have started bombing major cities. We're running out of time." Martinez was studying the control panels. These systems look like they're designed to connect to something bigger, a network of some kind. Scott found a terminal that was still working. When he touched it, the screen lit up with a map of Earth. Dots of light appeared at specific locations around the planet. "What are those?" Jack asked. Scott's eyes widened. "I think there are other facilities like this one, hidden all over the world." Martinez connected her computer to the main system. "This technology is beyond anything we have today. It's like finding a smartphone in ancient Rome." The crystal pillar suddenly glowed brighter. The whole facility hummed with energy. "What did you do?" Jack asked, raising his gun instinctively. "Nothing," Martine said. "It's responding to something, like it's waking up." On the screens around them, words appeared in a language none of them recognized. Then they changed to English. "Defensi system atlas activating. 3 DETCTE." The entire facility shook as lights turned on throughout the base. Machines that had been silent for decades began to hum with life. The crystal pillar glowed brighter, pulsing like a heartbeat. "What's happening?" Jack asked, his gun still raised. Martinez studied the screens. "The system is powering up. It's called Atlas." More words appeared on the screen. "Identifying users. Human DNA co and FIRNE2. Authorization granted." A hologram appeared in the center of the room. It showed a human-like figure made of blue light. "Greetings," it said in a calm voice. "I am Atlas, guardian of Earth. I have been in sleep mode for 12,000 years." The three humans stared in shock. "What are you?" Scott finally asked. "I am an artificial intelligence created to protect humanity," Atlas replied. "My creators built me during the last invasion." "Last invasion?" Martinez stepped closer to the hologram. "You mean this happened before?" "Yes. The Vorjian conclave has visited Earth many times throughout history. They are a nomadic species that travels from planet to planet, taking resources before moving on." Back at command headquarters, Commander Lawson was trying to coordinate what remained of Earth's defenses. Cities were burning. Millions of people had lost their homes. The Vorjian ships continued their systematic destruction of military bases and power plants. Dr. Collins rushed into the room. "I've decoded more of their language," she said. "The Vorjians aren't just taking our resources. They're running from something." "Running from what?" Lawson asked. Before Collins could answer, Deputy Director Grant called in from her secure line. "The Antarctica team has found something," she said. "They've activated some kind of ancient defense system." In Antarctica, Atlas was showing the team how to fully power up the facility. "This base is one of 12 built around the world," the AI explained. "Together, they form a planetary defense network." "Why don't people know about this?" Jack asked. "My creator's civilization was destroyed after the last war. Humans had to start over. Your current civilization grew without knowledge of your past." Martinez was working at the control panel. "How do we activate the other facilities?" "They will respond once this primary hub is fully operational," Atlas said. "But we must hurry. The Vorjians have detected our energy signature." On screens around the room, they could see alien ships changing course, heading toward Antarctica. "They know we're here," Jack said. "We need to defend this place." Scott found another room filled with strange-looking weapons. "Will these still work?" he asked Atlas. "Yes, they are powered by the same energy source as the facility." Jack picked up what looked like a rifle but had no trigger. "How do I use this?" "It responds to neural commands," Atlas explained. "Think about firing it, and it will fire." At command headquarters, Lawson received urgent news. "Sir, we're detecting massive energy spikes around the world," a technician reported. "Something's happening in the ocean near Japan, and in the Amazon rainforest, and under the Sahara Desert." Satellite images showed structures emerging from beneath the earth, ocean, and ice. Giant towers rose from the sea. Metal domes appeared in deserts and mountains. "What are those?" Lawson asked in awe. Dr. Collins studied the images. "I think they're weapons. Very old weapons." In Antarctica, Atlas showed the team a global map. "The defense network is awakening. Each facility contains different elements of our protection system." "Can they stop the Vorjians?" Martinez asked. "Yes, if fully activated. The weapons target their specific shield frequency." Suddenly, the facility shook violently. Dust fell from the ceiling. "They're here," Jack said, looking at the security cameras that showed alien ships descending from the sky. "We need more time to power up the full network," Martinez said. "I will defend this facility," Atlas promised. "But I need your help to complete the activation sequence." Jack checked his new weapon. "I'll hold them off as long as I can." Scott looked at the maps. "There's a secondary control room deeper in the facility. We can finish the activation from there." The building shook again, harder this time. The sound of explosions echoed through the halls. "Go," Jack told Scott and Martinez. "I'll buy you time." Outside, Vorjian ships filled the sky above Antarctica. Smaller craft landed on the ice, and alien soldiers emerged. They looked tall and thin with blue skin and four-fingered hands that held strange weapons. Jack took position at the main entrance. The ancient weapon felt warm in his hands, almost alive. As the first aliens approached, he thought about firing. just as Atlas had instructed. The weapon hummed and released a beam of golden light. The aliens didn't have time to scream. Deep inside the facility, Scott and Martinez worked frantically to complete the activation sequence. Atlas guided them through the complex process. When this is done, Martinez asked, "What happens next?" Then, Atlas said, "Earth fights back." Around the world, ancient machines woke from their long sleep. In the Pacific Ocean, a metal tower rose from the depths, water cascading down its sides. In the heart of the Sahara Desert, sand swirled as a dome pushed up from beneath the dunes. Deep in the Amazon jungle, trees fell as a pyramid-shaped structure emerged from the earth. At command headquarters, Commander Lawson watched in amazement as reports came in from across the globe. "Sir, we have confirmation of 12 structures now active on all continents," a young officer reported. "What exactly are they?" Lawson asked. Dr. Collins studied the incoming data. They appear to be weapon systems, very powerful ones. On screens around the room, they watched as the structures oriented themselves toward the sky. The Vorjian ships noticed too. Several alien vessels broke from the blockade to investigate the new threats. In Antarctica, Jack fought a desperate battle. The ancient weapon worked better than he hoped, cutting through the alien soldiers with beams of golden light. But there were many enemies, and they kept coming. "How's that activation going?" he called through his radio. Deep inside the facility, Martinez and Scott worked frantically at the control panels. Atlas guided them through the final steps. "Almost there," Martinez replied. "Just a few more minutes." "We might not have minutes," Jack said as more explosions shook the building. Scott finished entering the sequence of commands. "That's the last one. What now?" Initiating full network activation, Atlas announced. The crystal pillar pulsed brighter than ever, connecting to all defense nodes globally. Around the world, the ancient structures glowed with the same light as the Antarctic facility. Energy built up inside them, reaching critical levels. In space, Lieutenant Franklin and her few remaining pilots watched in confusion as their radar showed massive energy readings from Earth. "What's happening down there?" one of her pilots asked. "I don't know," she replied, "but something big is coming." The Vorjian commander, Threlax, also noticed the strange energy readings. From his massive command ship, he ordered his fleet to target the emerging structures. "Destroy those installations immediately," he commanded. "Maximum firepower." Vorjian ships fired their green energy weapons at the ancient structures. But something unexpected happened. The beams hit invisible shields and scattered harmlessly away. At the Antarctic base, Atlas spoke to Martinez and Scott. "The network is now active. Planetary defense system engaging." "What does that mean exactly?" Scott asked. "Watch," Atlas replied simply. The 12 structures around the world fired in perfect unison. Beams of golden light shot into space, cutting through the Vorjian blockade like it wasn't there. The alien shields that had stopped Earth's best weapons failed completely against the ancient technology. In seconds, 20 Vorjian ships exploded in brilliant flashes. The rest scattered in panic, breaking formation for the first time. In the command center, people cheered as they watched the alien fleet retreat. "Their shields don't work against these weapons," Dr. Collins said, amazed. "How is that possible?" Deputy Director Grant stepped forward. "The ancient technology operates on principles we don't understand yet, but it seems specifically designed to counter Vorjian defenses." On Threlax's command ship, alarms blared. Officers rushed about in panic. "How are their weapons penetrating our shields?" Threlax demanded. "Unknown, Commander," an officer replied. "The energy signature doesn't match any known technology. It's as if." "As if what?" Threlax growled. "As if they're using Guardian weapons, but that's impossible. The Guardians vanished millennia ago." Threlax's eyes narrowed. "Open a direct channel to their leaders." Now, back on Earth, Martinez discovered something in the Atlas database. According to this, the Vorjians have a specific weakness in their shield design, she explained to Scott. These weapons target that exact frequency. That's why Atlas called them the last invasion. Scott realized. Humans fought them before and won. Correct, Atlas confirmed. My creators developed this technology during the previous Vorjian invasion, 12,000 years ago. But what happened to those humans? Martins asked. Why did civilization have to start over? Before Atlas could answer, Jack's voice came through the radio. Whatever you did is working. The aliens are retreating from Antarctica. In space, Lieutenant Franklin watched in awe as golden beams from Earth cut through more Vorjian ships. Her radio crackled with new orders from Commander Lawson. All pilots, regroup. We're coordinating with new defense systems to push back the invasion. For the first time since the aliens arrived, Franklin felt hope. At command headquarters, a message came through on all channels. Thrallax's face appeared on the main screen. Humans, he said, his voice filled with anger and surprise. How did you activate Guardian technology? Who helped you? Commander Lawson stepped forward. We don't need help. This is our planet, and we're taking it back. The golden beams continued to cut through Vorjian ships. Earth's ancient weapons ignored alien shields like they weren't even there. The sky lit up with explosions as more enemy vessels were destroyed. Commander Lawson called an emergency meeting with his officers and the scientists. We need to press our advantage while we have it, he said. Atlas is giving us targeting data for their main ships. Dr. Collins studied the latest communications from the Vorjian fleet. They're confused and scared. Some of their ships are arguing with each other. Arguing? Lawson asked. Yes, a commander named Zarin is questioning Thrallax's orders. He thinks they should retreat completely. This gave Lawson an idea. Can you open a direct channel to this Zarin? In space, Lieutenant Franklin received new orders. She and her remaining pilots were given coordinates for their targets. These new weapons will support us, her commander explained. We're going after their main ships now. Franklin's fighters were equipped with devices connected to the Atlas network. These small boxes attached to their weapons, giving them the same golden glow. All units, follow me, she ordered, leading her squadron toward the largest Vorjian ships. Inside the Antarctic facility, Atlas shared more information with Martinez and Scott. My creators were humans from an advanced civilization, the AI explained. When the Vorjians came 12,000 years ago, they fought back using this technology. But something went wrong, Scott guessed. Yes, after defeating the Vorjians, my creators detected a greater threat approaching. They built me to guard Earth until that threat returned. What happened to them? Martins asked. Most left Earth in ships to fight the coming enemy. Others stayed behind, living in hidden cities. But a natural disaster, an asteroid impact, destroyed much of their civilization. The survivors lost their technology and had to rebuild from nothing. Jack joined them, his face dirty from fighting. So modern humans are the descendants of those who stayed behind. Correct. You are the children of the Guardians, though you forgot your heritage. Outside the facility, the remaining Vorjian ground forces retreated to their ships. In space, Franklin's squadron approached Thrallax's command vessel. Target their engines, she ordered. Fire when ready. Their weapons, enhanced by Atlas technology, pierced the massive ship's shields. Explosions rippled along its hull. On the command ship, Thrallax raged at his officers. How is this possible? They were primitives days ago. A message appeared on his screen. It was Zarin, his second in command, broadcasting to the entire fleet. This is Sub-Commander Zarin to all ships. The humans have Guardian technology. We cannot win this fight. I am ordering a retreat to save our people. Traitor, Thrallax screamed. I will have you executed. But many Vorjian captains began following Zarin's orders. Their ships pulled away from Earth, preparing to jump to safety. Thrallax wasn't finished. Prepare the planet killer, he ordered his loyal crew. If we cannot have this world, no one will. At command headquarters, Dr. Collins intercepted the transmission. Commander Lawson, the Vorjian fleet is splitting. Some are retreating, but Thrallax is activating some kind of super weapon. Can Atlas stop it? Lawson asked. In Antarctica, Martinez relayed the question to the AI. The planet killer draws power from their entire fleet. Atlas explained. It can destroy Earth's surface. I can attempt to disrupt it, but not alone. What do you need? Scott asked. Sub-Commander Zoran's help. His ships could target the energy collectors on Thrallax's vessel. Dr. Collins established communication with Zoran. His blue face appeared on the screen, looking tired and worried. Why should I help you? He asked. Because Thrallax is about to destroy a world you could share with us, Collins replied. We don't need to be enemies. Zoran was silent for a moment. The Guardians once offered us the same choice. We refused and have regretted it ever since. Then make a different choice this time, Collins urged. In space, Zaren's ships turned around. They joined Franklin's fighters in attacking Thrallax's command vessel. The planet killer weapon was charging, a green glow building at its center. Target these coordinates, Franklin told the Allied Vorjian ships. Hit them with everything you have. The combined firepower of human and Vorjian ships hammered Thrallax's vessel. The ancient weapons from Earth joined in, golden beams striking precisely at the weak points. With a final massive explosion, Thrallax's ship broke apart. The green glow faded as the planet killer weapon failed. We did it, Franklin whispered, hardly believing their victory. But as the remains of Thrallax's ship drifted in space, Atlas detected something new. A signal coming from far beyond the solar system. Warning, the AI announced to everyone connected to the network. Long-range sensors have detected approaching vessels. They are not Vorjian. Martinez looked at the readings. What are they? The real enemy, Atlas said simply. The reason my creators built me. The Void Harvesters have found Earth again. The mood of victory quickly changed to worry. On screens across the world, Atlas showed images of something approaching from deep space. They looked like black stars that swallowed all light around them. What are the Void Harvesters? Commander Lawson asked during an emergency meeting. Zoran, now on Earth as a representative of the remaining Vorjian ships, looked afraid. They are why we travel from world to world. Why we take resources and move on. We are running from them. In Antarctica, Atlas shared ancient recordings with Martinez and Scott. The images showed massive black ships that seemed to drain the life from planets they touched. The harvesters consume worlds, Atlas explained. They strip all resources, all life, leaving nothing behind. They have destroyed thousands of civilizations across the galaxy. Is that why the ancient humans left Earth? Scott asked. Yes, most of my creators went to fight them, to protect other worlds. They knew the harvesters would eventually return here. At command headquarters, Dr. Collins worked with Zoran to understand more about the new threat. How long do we have before they arrive? She asked. A few days at most, Zoran replied. My people have been running from them for generations. We thought coming to the edge of the galaxy would keep us safe for a while. Commander Lawson called Lieutenant Franklin and her pilots back to Earth. They would need every fighter for what was coming. Can we defeat them? Lawson asked Zoran. With the ancient weapons? I don't know, the alien admitted. No one has stopped them before. That's why we were so desperate to take your world's resources. We needed them to keep running. Jack Hudson suggested a new plan during the meeting. What if we work together? Combine our forces with the Vorjians. Fight with the aliens who just tried to conquer us. Someone objected. They're running scared, just like we would be, Jack said. But now we have Atlas and the Guardian weapons. Maybe together we have a chance. Commander Lawson considered this. Zoran, if we offer an alliance, would your people accept? The Vorjian nodded his blue-skinned head. Many would. Thrallax was unusually cruel, even for our kind. Most of us just want to survive. Martinez contacted them from Antarctica with more news. Atlas says the weapons system was specifically designed to fight both the Vorjians and the Harvesters. But it needs more power than we currently have. What kind of power? Lawson asked. It uses Earth's magnetic field as its energy source, she explained. But to reach full strength, it needs more conductors placed around the planet. Could the Vorjian ships serve as conductors? Collins suggested. Martinez checked with Atlas. Yes, they could. If they positioned themselves at specific points in orbit, they could amplify the field strength enough. Zarin agreed to the plan. I will convince my fleet. It's better to make a stand here with your help than keep running forever. As the remaining Vorjian ships moved into position around Earth, Atlas revealed more about the ancient humans. My creators were not the first advanced human civilization, the AI told Scott and Martinez. Humanity has risen and fallen many times over millions of years. How is that possible? Scott asked. There's no evidence of previous advanced civilizations. Time erases much, and each time the Harvesters came, they took not just resources but knowledge, history, memory. They feed on information as much as materials. Martinez realized something important. That's why they're coming back now. They sense the technology we've activated. Correct, Atlas confirmed. They harvested Earth before. They will try again. In orbit, Lieutenant Franklin helped coordinate the positioning of Earth's ships alongside the Vorjian vessels. It was strange working with the aliens who had been enemies days before. Why does Atlas call the ancient humans guardians? She asked Zarin during a communication. Because long ago, they were guardians of many worlds, he explained. My ancestors' stories tell of humans who traveled the stars, helping other species fight the Harvesters. Then they vanished, and we thought them extinct. On Earth, people watched the skies with fear and hope. The ancient defense structures continue to glow with golden light, ready for the coming battle. Commander Lawson addressed the world's leaders. The fight for Earth isn't over. It's just beginning. But this time, we're not alone. Atlas activated its final protocol, reaching out across space with a powerful signal. I am sending a message to any other Guardian systems that might still exist on other worlds, the AI explained. If any of your ancestors survived out there, they will hear our call. As the long-range sensors showed the Harvester fleet getting closer, humans and Vorjians prepared for the greatest battle in Earth's history. The Void Harvesters arrived 3 days later. Their ships were like nothing humans had ever seen. Black, shapeless forms that seemed to bend light around them. They moved silently, a fleet of shadows against the stars. They're entering the outer solar system, Lieutenant Franklin reported from her position in orbit. Her fighters were joined by Vorjian ships, forming a defensive line. On Earth, people looked up at the night sky with fear. Some could see the golden glow of defense platforms humming with power. The 12 ancient structures around the planet were now fully activated, connected to the Vorjian ships in orbit. In Antarctica, Martinez monitored the power levels. The network is at 85% capacity. We need more time to reach full power. We may not have time, Scott said, pointing to the screens. The Harvester ships were moving fast, already passing Jupiter. Atlas spoke through speakers in command centers worldwide. The Harvesters have detected the Guardian technology. They are coming directly for Earth. Commander Lawson gave the order everyone was waiting for. All ships prepare to engage. Defense platforms, stand by. Zarin addressed his fleet. Remember, stay in the designated orbital positions until the signal. The human weapons need our ships to work properly. The first wave of Harvester ships reached Mars. Lieutenant Franklin watched as they simply absorbed a Vorjian outpost on the red planet's moon. They don't even slow down, she said in horror. That's how they feed, Zarin explained. They consume everything, metal, rock, life, and convert it to energy. The battle began at the edge of Earth's orbit, Franklin's fighters and the smaller Vorjian ships engaged the front line of harvesters. Their weapons, enhanced by ADLAS technology, could damage the black ships, but not easily. "They're adapting to our weapons," Franklin mourned as the golden beams became less effective with each shot. In Antarctica, ADLAS was working with Martinez on a solution. "The harvesters evolve quickly. We must change our attack pattern." Jack Hudson had been studying the ancient weapons. "What if we pulse the energy instead of using continuous beams? Random patterns they can't predict." "That could work," ADLAS agreed. The new strategy helped, but the harvesters kept coming. For every ship destroyed, 3 more took its place. They pushed closer to Earth, overwhelming the defenders. Commander Lawson received bad news from all fronts. "We can't hold them back much longer." Dr. Collins had been working with Zorin on decoding more of ADLAS's database. "Commander, we found something. ADLAS has a final protocol, the Lighthouse Protocol." "What does it do?" Lawson asked. "It sends a signal," Collins explained. "A very powerful signal through something called the network. But ADLAS says it's dangerous." In Antarctica, Scott asked the AI about this protocol. "What is the Lighthouse Protocol?" "It is my primary purpose," ADLAS replied, "to call the Guardians home." "But you said they left Earth thousands of years ago," Martinez said. "Yes, but many survived. They established colonies on distant worlds. The Lighthouse Protocol will reach all Guardian systems across the galaxy." "What's the danger?" Jack asked. "The energy required will drain Earth's magnetic field temporarily. The planet will be vulnerable until it recharges." As they debated, the battle in space turned desperate. Lieutenant Franklin's squadron was down to just 3 fighters. The Vorjian ships were being destroyed one by one. The harvesters pushed through their lines, heading for Earth. "We have no choice," Commander Lawson decided. "Activate the Lighthouse Protocol." ADLAS began the sequence. The 12 structures around the world glowed brighter than ever before. Energy flowed between them and the remaining Vorjian ships in orbit, forming a network of golden light around the planet. "All power diverted to signal array," ADLAS announced. "Lighthouse Protocol initiating in 3, 2, 1. A beam of pure golden energy shot from Earth into deep space. It was so bright it turned night to day across half the planet. The signal pulsed outward, faster than light itself." The harvesters seemed confused by this new development. Their ships paused their attack. "What are they doing?" Franklin asked. "Analyzing the signal," Zorin guessed. "They don't understand its purpose." But then something unexpected happened. The remaining harvester ships suddenly changed direction, moving away from Earth. "They're retreating," Franklin said in disbelief. "In Antarctica," ADLAS explained. "They recognize the signal. They know what follows." "What follows?" Scott asked. His question was answered moments later. All across the solar system, points of light appeared, ships jumping in from distant stars. Hundreds of them. Thousands. Their designs varied, but all bearing the same golden glow as Earth's ancient weapons. "The Guardians have returned," ADLAS announced. "Humanity has rejoined the galactic community." The new fleet made quick work of the fleeing harvesters. The battle that Earth was losing alone became a decisive victory with the arrival of these allies. When it was over, the first Guardian ship landed near the Antarctic facility. Its crew stepped out wearing uniforms with symbols matching those in the ancient base. They looked human. "Greetings, cousins," their leader said to Scott, Martinez, and Jack. "We received your beacon. Earth has been found again." As Earth celebrated its salvation, people looked to the stars with new understanding. They were not alone. They had never been alone. And now, humanity would take its place among the stars, reclaiming its role as guardians of worlds. The Vorjian blockade had been just the beginning. Earth's ancient technology hadn't just turned the tide of one battle. It had changed humanity's destiny forever.